This makes no sense. I can't do this. Why is this so challenging? What am I supposed to do?
Fear not, your one Tazar, the great blockade, to help you with all of your educational needs. What do you need, young one?
Well, this vocab makes absolutely no sense. Like, what are these barriers? How do they work? Why do I even need to know this stuff?
I can help you with this baffling conundrum.
What now?
Never mind that. Follow me. We have two different kinds of pizzas. Hi, Ava. These pizzas represent a different kind of crust. We've got the deep dish pizza, which represents the continental crust, and the regular pizza, which represents the oceanic crust, because it is thinner and less dense, while the continental crust is thicker but less dense.
But what about the boundaries? We're trying to figure out what the boundaries are.
The boundaries is when, like, these two slices of pizza meet our tectonic plates. When they meet, there's three different kinds of tectonic plates. There's convergent, divergent, and transform.
So if I'm correct, convergence is when the two plates go together. Divergent is when they go apart. And transform is when they slide past each other horizontally.
Correct. But there's different kinds of convergent and divergent.
Wait, what now?
There's continental convergent, continental oceanic convergent, and oceanic convergent.
Wait.
And let's say we have two continental crusts right here, as you can see. Obviously, as you can see. And then they slowly come together via the convection currents from the magma in the asthenosphere.
Oh, I know this one.
Ava, what are convection currents?
Okay, so convection currents are when the magma deep in the earth it heats up from the inner core, so then it rises because it becomes less dense. Then later on it cools down, so it becomes more dense and goes back down into the earth.
Correct! You get a pizza.
Woo!
When two continental plates collide with each other, they create a folded mountain, which is a type of mountain that's formed by folding of the lithospheric plates. And then there's the oceanic convergent, which colliding would create an underwater volcano like so. What we'll do is at least one oceanic plate would be more dense and go underneath the top one, which would create a underwater volcano. If the volcano gets big enough, it creates an island arc, a chain of islands formed by volcanoes.
So if a continental and oceanic pizza plates collide, they will make a volcano because one will go underneath the other. And the magma comes off the edge.
Actually, the going underneath is called subduction for plates. What it does is it goes underneath into the asthenosphere and then comes back out to be recycled. But other than that, you're correct.
Yay.
Now it's time to talk about transform boundaries. Transform boundaries, let's say these are two continental crusts, and the transform boundaries grind against each other and slide past. These form earthquakes and tsunamis.
Divergent pizza! Boundaries. Divergent boundaries.
Yes, there's three different kinds of divergent boundaries, Ava, but we're going to only talk about two.
Yay.
The continental and oceanic divergent boundaries.
Okay, so how do they spread apart?
Good question. They get spread apart, but most of them get spread apart by using the convection currents like we talked about earlier. But oceanic is a special little snowflake. It has a process called seafloor spreading, where let's say we have this mid-ocean ridge right here. So the mid-ocean ridge is part of the asthenosphere, and it pushes up the crust for it to go. And then that crust is like this. And it gets pushed apart slowly after more and more gets created. And then eventually, when it becomes older, it gets so dense that it will fall into the deep ocean trench to be pushed on once again.
Okay, so oceanic divergent boundaries form when lava comes out of the mid-ocean ridge to create new seafloor?
Correct. Have some more pizza. There's the concept of continental divergence. When this happens, the magma becomes lava and it goes to the surface and becomes lava, and the lava cools to become the Rift Valley.
That's it?
Yep. You're welcome for the pizza. It's $15.
Thank you. Wait, what?
Bye.
Just an awesome dream. How did I start my work?